present the Unfair Quiz, so please welcome your chairman, John Junkin.
Thank you. Welcome to the Unfair Quiz, where this week's winners will be Team A. That'll give you some idea of how unfair it is, because we haven't got a Team A. Nor do we have any fairness or any decency. All we do have are questions and answers and a totally power-drunk question master, to wit, me. Oh, and we do have contestants to answer the questions, of course. Much good may it do them. But don't feel too sorry for them, because apart from the small fortune they receive, as they've agreed to appear on this programme, the BBC have also given each of them a lifetime guarantee that they will never have to be interviewed by Gloria Hunniford. So now let's introduce the Christians to the Lions. The blue team, as usual, consists of its resident Arthur Smith, and Doncaster Reserves is, as usual, represented by Phil Nice. This week, Phil's resident captain is a man who's spent years building a reputation in show business and is now going to blow the whole of it in half an hour, Colin Baker. And as for Arthur, well, he got a little uppity last week, so this week his guest captain is, courtesy of Miss Lucy EDIS, Ronnie the Cuddly Elephant. The rules are as usual, which is whatever springs to my mind at the moment. So we will start with a round on general knowledge, one question each. Colin, it's time for your first question.
What?
On what day did my birthday fall in 1911?
Well, that would have been your 15th birthday. And as you were
That's the
born
end
on
of
a
that
Tuesday, that would make it a Friday.
That's the end of that question. I don't care whether he was right or not. He loses 10 points for being bloody rude.
Well, how old are you anyway, John?
Please, gentlemen, that's the end of that round. And at the end of that round, the scores are as follows. Arthur and Ronnie the Elephant have 3. Phil and Colin have minus 13.5. We shall now pass on to an individual round. You may choose your subject, just to remind the two idiots who forget week to week, and Colin, who's never played before. The subjects are music, history, mixed bag, entertainment, geography, and science. Arthur, which would you like?
Well, what would you like, Ronnie?
Oh, I don't know what I'd like.
Would you like something on elephants?
No, I don't think so, no. Let's have history.
Ronnie, this is ironic, because the first question that came to hand is as follows. Who had the job of cleaning up after Hannibal's elephants? Arthur, you may confer.
What do you think, Ronnie?
Oh, I don't know.
Should we stop this stupid double act, Ronnie?
Yes, I think we should, actually, yes.
Who had the job of cleaning up after Hannibal? Well, I imagine it was you, John. Your first job in showbiz, was it? And your last.
I'll tell you what. Nothing for the answer, but 5 for being wise enough to give up the strange double act with one. Right.
What was the answer? Who did?
I've no idea.
We don't
Don't
get
ask me. I just write the questions. God almighty, man, it takes a week to write the questions. You want me to write the answers as well? What programme do you think this is? What category, Phil, please?
Carpentry, please, John.
Carpentry comes under the heading of entertainment, I think. So you will have an entertainment question. What instrument did Leon Goossens play?
Ooh.
That's right. He did. He played the who for the London Symphony Orchestra.
What sort of noise did it make then, the who?
Well, it was an onomatopoeic instrument. It went hoo-hoo. There was only one symphony written, in fact, it was the hoo symphony.
I'll give him 11 for that. That's the most fluent load of rubbish I've ever heard in my life. Right, we've had Ronnie's question for your side. Arthur, which category would you
I'd like a mixed bag, please.
Mixed bag, and so you shall. Are you ready?
No.
Good. That's how I like it. Complete the following phrase. Go on.
John Junkin's brain is the following weight. A...
Now, scoring on this is quite complicated. I've got to give you 3 for the free plug. But I've got to take 4 away because you didn't complete a phrase, you started one. I think you should have consulted with Ronnie on that.
Ronnie?
Too late.
No, Ronnie is, in fact, a cuddly toy and can't speak. I'm now conceding that fact.
Colin, your subject, please.
On the basis that I know nothing about it, geography, because I think that might
Geography. In that case, geography you shall have. Which country's anthem is the Star-Spangled Banner?
Is it America?
I think so, yeah.
America?
Because that's
This is
got
true.
a star-spangled banner, hasn't it?
Yes.
Second part of the question is, what do you think it should be?
It should be something sung by Gracie Fields, and it should be something that reflects the nature of their dependency upon us.
Maybe that's a little bit too deep as an anthem. I was thinking maybe Chirpy, Chirpy, Cheep, Cheep might be more fitting.
I'll give him 2 for that. You got any suggestions, Arthur?
Well, as I was more interested in Chirpy, Chirpy, Cheep, Cheep. Wasn't that once done by Gossman on the oo?
It was. The original version was Chirpy, Chirpy, ooh, ooh.
That's right. Chirpy, chirpy, ooh, ooh. Last night I heard my mama singing a song.
That's copyright.
Ooh.
They're going to have to pay thousands for that now you've sung it.
I'll tell you what, I'll give Arthur 5 for a feat of memory in remembering Goosens and ooh-ooh, and take 4 away for the dreadful singing voice. Right, now then, we are going to go round. This is an open round. First one to buzz gets a chance to answer.
Skippy the good bush kangaroo.
No, but Arthur didn't buzz. That wasn't a buzz.
No, 5 to Arthur for that answer, which was correct. Colin?
I thought it was Bonnie Langford.
Well, it's
Skip
practically
Bonnie
the same
Langford.
thing, isn't it?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yes. Oh, I'll give him 5 as well. Who invented vulcanized rubber?
Richard Branson. Well, he didn't invent it, but he sort of used it, didn't he?
10 points for bad taste. And we pass on. And we will go to geography.
They didn't have a bad taste.
Oh, here's a good one. Where does the word volcano come from?
I think it was Vulcan who had his forge in the bowels of the earth.
Give him 24 points for the first correct answer. And the second part of the question, Colin, unfortunately, is which was the last volcano to erupt in central London?
Oh, that was Edwina Curry. I believe she is now dormant.
Another 24. What can I say? We shall now go on to a signed rhyme. Arthur, are you ready?
Yes.
Right. Listen to this, please.
That was you coughing.
5 points for that. Now listen to this. Can you name that piece of music?
Well, it was by Oo, obviously, and it was his symphony for steamrollers and dumplings.
It was fish frying in a pan. It was a sound effect. Right. The next one, Phil and Colin, what is this? Oh, somebody knows. Who knows? Colin.
I think it's someone actually preparing an Edwina Curry. Possibly Lionel Jeffries.
Arthur and Ronnie, do you have anything?
Well, I thought it was a BBC sound effect. Number 17, in fact.
Ah, you were so close.
Ah, damn. It wasn't the number 15, was it?
No, it was 1,212.
Oh, yeah.
But give him a point for being a brave lad.
Sorry, John, again about this, but I was going to suggest that it was, again, with Edwina Curry in mind, it was Edwina Curry applying a face pack.
Oh, this is difficult, you see. It's 2 for a very good idea and 1 away for jumping on Colin's bandwagon, you see. Now, listen to this, please. Who would like to answer?
No
Colin.
idea.
Well, I believe that's...
Wait. You don't know what the question is.
I'm sorry.
We all know what that was. The question is, who was doing it?
Well, I think it was probably members of our royal family playing cards in Buckingham Palace. That was a royal flush.
Oh, you have, haven't you? How are we doing? Oh, give him 4.5 for that. This one is absolutely open to anyone. Phil, you're first, and the question is, which historical event was that?
Well, that was the Battle of Trafalgar. It was Hardy, and he was just running away, really. Does that fit in with the answer on your card?
No, the answer on the card
Thomas
says...
Hardy as well.
The answer on the card says 8. So you were nowhere near. No points for that. Right, we shall now pass on to a music round. Arthur, what is Blondie's real name?
It's Norman Parkinson.
Not quite what it says here. It says Debbie Harry. Colin.
Priscilla Black, actually.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Because her name's Priscilla White.
Yes.
Isn't that boring?
Blondie.
Right, second half of the question is, what is Blondie's real hair colour?
I'm being upstaged here, so who's jumped in there?
Priscilla Black.
He said Cilla Black twice. Give him a point for it. He's obviously keen on it. Right.
You used to go out with Cilla Black, didn't you, Colin?
No, he used to stay in.
Step inside, love.
Please, Ronnie. What singer wants to tell us a story?
Well, it's me, isn't it? Me and Max Migraines.
That's correct. 4 points for the first part. Second part of the question to you, Ronnie, is who wants to tell him he can't sing?
I think the millions and millions of people in Britain who hate and despise Max Bygraves even more than Gary Wilmot.
Well, I've never given points for Venom on this show before, but I'll give you 6 for that. Right, next music question is to you, Phil. What's another name for the London Derriere?
Arthur Mullard's Bottom.
Oh, that's funny. I seem to have a voice coming from over there these days. Well, yes, Arthur Mullard's Bottom. But the other thing would be the Londoner Hintern.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a point for that, principally because the second part to this question is, can you please sing it with French lyrics?
Well, I can't really do that.
Oh, Danny Garçon,
les pipes appellent.
de Glen à Glen, à travers la mer d'Irlande.
Au sacre bleu.
Je suis Gotterdammerung.
Et toi.
Well, I can tell you at home that only innate good taste stopped our audience from joining in the chorus. 11 to Colin, because he started it, and 9 to Arthur for carrying on. Colin, why was Brahms named after a slang term for intoxication?
Well, it's to do with Cockney rhyming slang.
Yes?
There was a composer called Skunk, and anyone who was drunk was called Brahms because Skunk was a great friend of Brahms, and Brahms and Skunk drunk, you see?
That's good. I didn't think anyone would answer that with an answer we could have possibly broadcast. Give him 4, which makes the scores at the end of that round 44.5 to Arthur and Ronnie, and 91 to Phil and Colin. Okay, now then, individual questions again. Here's a good one for you, Phil.
Music, is it?
Can you explain Wincy Willis?
Wincy Willis started her life many years ago as a tortoise. She became famous therefore for being a tortoise and a human being at the same time. When I say many years ago, it's not that many years ago. It's probably only about 7, in fact. And then she became a weather forecaster with... God, I'm boring, aren't I?
He's great at
Give him
parties, I
8
feel.
points for honesty. Arthur, here is a rather unusual question. If the answer is Dr. Livingston, I presume, what is the question?
Can you tell the difference between Flora and margarine? This is a Salvador Dali sort of answer, you know. It was a painting, in fact, originally by Salvador Dali.
I suppose you've got to give him 8 for being brave. Now, I will tell you, this has long vexed many people. If the answer is Dr. Livingston, I presume, the question is, what is your full name, Dr. Presume? And so we pass on to Colin.
I think Colin has passed on, hasn't he?
Venom is...
Bit of needle. I just want a bit of needle, you know,
Sneaking
because
in,
we're
right.
losing, and my poor little Ronnie here belongs to a sweet little girl who'll be listening to this programme and frankly wants her little teddy cuddly toy to win, and it's losing badly, and I think, quite frankly, you're being horrible to it. And I'm really, really sorry for you, Lucy, listening out there now, that this horrible, horrible, balding roue masquerading as John Junkin has been so horrible as to make us lose so far.
How many have they got?
Yes!
Take off the 52. I'll teach you to crawl.
Would you be horrible to that sweet little girl?
Yeah. Colin, are you ready? I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm waiting.
What is the biggest nerve in the human body?
The biggest nerve in the human body is the nose.
Damn, the man, he's so close.
Can I put in a
Please do.
bid for this one? I think it's the cheek. Because if you've got the cheek,
Yes.
you've got a nerve, haven't you?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
The biggest nerve in the human body is actually situated between the nose and the cheek. It's the sciatic nerve.
Well, there you are.
Well, there you are. We've
We
got
have
it
the nose and the cheek. What more
between
do you
us.
ask?
What a team.
Second part of your question, and be very careful. Who's got the biggest nerve in show business?
I think that has to be Sid Little, doesn't it?
I think we'll take a vote round the table. Sid Little's your vote, Colin.
I think I would probably go for John Junkin.
Arthur?
I'd like to go for myself, thank you. I would go for myself and bring myself back here. I'm still in the pub, I think.
And Ronnie.
Ronnie?
Fine.
Who's got the big... Well, Ronnie is inanimate, so that's got quite a lot of cheek, hasn't he? Wake up, Ronnie, for God's sake! You're giving me no help at all, are you?
If you saw what he was doing now, Lucy, you would ignore all that rubbish he said before. I'll tell you where we're going now. We're going to geography. This is an open round on the buzzer. All in.
Burkina
right.
Faso.
2-part question. What do you call a native of Monaco?
A Monegasque.
8 points for being correct in the first part.
My goodness me.
Second part of the question is, what do you call a Chelsea supporter?
It sounds like Monegasque. I can't quite pronounce it, though. A Monegascard.
Give him another 8 points for that. Right. Next one is on science. Who wants it? Ronnie. First part of your question is, who broke the barrier of the 4-minute mile?
It was Roger Bannister, thank you very much.
That's absolutely correct. Second part of your question is, who broke the mirror in the gents' toilet?
Well, it was me. I'm an elephant, aren't I? Not a lot of
Correct in
room
both
in there,
parts.
frankly.
Right. This is another round where you may select your choices, and we will start...
I'll have a pint of bitter, please.
Oh, my God. Which category would you like, Arthur?
I'll have I'll have geography, please.
2 parts. What beast of burden comes from Tibet?
Well, that would be Bernard Manning.
No, he's a beast of burden who comes from Manchester. This is Tibet.
Oh, sorry, Tibet. Beast of Burn, John Noakes. He went there, didn't he?
It's pathetic. Come on, tell him what it is. Exactly, it's a llama.
Hello, Ronnie here. I used to go out with a llama.
I think I read something about it in the News of the World. Phil?
Science.
Using the chemical symbols for uranium, boron, and mercury, can you make a rude word?
I can, yes.
What is it?
Do you want it to
I'm afraid so, yes.
Do you
This
want
is
me
going
to
out
say it?
after 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, right, okay. Frig.
Not what I've got down here at all. Anybody else? I'm throwing this one open.
A rude word using the letters B, U, and M. I think that's the level we've reached here this evening, isn't it? And I think it's mub, actually, which is a Bulgarian word that means the unfair quiz, I believe.
This is the moment I've been waiting for 6 weeks. The chemical symbol for mercury is Hg.
HG.
Yeah,
can't
so
do
what's
it.
the answer then?
Isn't it? No, you can't make a rude word about. That's the
Oh,
answer.
I see.
Right, it's Ronnie. Which category would Ronnie like?
I've got a different voice now, actually. I'd like mixed bag, please. Thank
Mixed
you very
bag.
much.
Mixed bag.
Come on,
here you
hurry
are.
up there, please. Come on.
If the answer, Ronnie, is Bombay,
Yes?
what is the question?
What is the name of a rude bay?
If the answer is Bombay,
Yes.
the question is, in which part of an aircraft is it dangerous to fall asleep? Right. Open round. First question.
Hey, we get a rap going here, Phil.
Let's
Well,
have
how many
that
buzzer?
question
That's
right now,
buzz,
John.
buzz.
Let's hear the question to me now.
Hey, hey, hey.
I want a question.
That was pretty close, actually, what you just did, because the question, which goes to you, Phil, is who wrote that thing that goes,
I think I'd like to answer that one in German, John, if I may. Das war eine kleine, so eine kleine Tochter von der Arthur. Er hat so viele Töchter und er will eigentlich. Das war. Verstehst
Could I have
du?
his Christian name?
Yes, it was Bert.
Absolutely right. Gives you 4 points. Are we ready? Here we have...
Yes,
science.
I'd just like to say I'm ready, John.
Right, the science question, Arthur.
I'm still ready.
Actually, I must be honest, I
I'm
did
readier.
ask a question. I said, are you ready? And you answered yes, and that was correct. So you can have 6 points for that.
I'd like to dispute that. I don't think he was ready, actually. I think he was lying. He was looking the other way and talking to the elephant.
Well, we shall see. We shall see whether or not he was ready when I ask him the question. If Max ate as well.
I'd like to point out, John, that I am no longer ready.
Fine. In that case, here is your question. Was Einstein a good snooker player? Phil.
Well, that was the answer, surely. You are answering the question.
Why is it when I say Phil, Arthur speaks?
We are as one. Well, Einstein was a relatively good player.
Ah. Oh, yes, I think...
Oh, dear.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I think 10 for that. I
You know,
think
you try
10.
your best, you say things like that, and what do you get? You get,
Right.
great, isn't it?
Napoleon wasn't very good because he only had one ball, didn't he? That was cheap, wasn't it,
Give him
frankly?
5 points for being rude. And that makes it... Oh. Now, 106 and a half, Arthur and Ronnie. 116, Phil. So, it all hangs on this question. What do the initials Titbrqoraigtboi stand for?
Damn.
Colin, you won.
It's the Imperial Ranjipur of Sanjani in his preeminent position as Emperor of all the Indies.
Quite uncanny. That is quite uncanny. What they actually stand for is, this is the best radio quiz on radio, and I am glad to be on it. But that's more or less what you said, Colin. So I'll give you 8 for that, which means that at the end of tonight's quiz, the scores are as follows. Arthur and Ronnie the Elephant, 106. Phil and Colin, 124. However, I am deducting some marks for bad behaviour, sloppy dress, and showing off. Arthur and Ronnie lose 106.5. Phil and Colin lose 124, which means that nobody has scored anything. And I therefore declare the winner this week to be Alison, who never has much fun and has behaved much better than anybody else all evening. There is a grave, grave danger that we may be back very shortly with another edition of the Unfair Quiz. Until then, ta-da.
Taking part in the Unfair Quiz were Phil Nice, Arthur Smith, Colin Baker and Ronnie the Cuddly Blue Elephant. The programme was devised and chaired by John Junkin and produced by Richard EDIS.
Yes, and regardless of public demand, there'll be another Unfair Quiz at the same time next week. In half an hour...